Nice. Got it. Thank you. There we go. Perfect. So for tonight's call, because we will be speaking about hormone and the disclaimer that's been put out there for our brand partners, again, remember the information in this presentation is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Remember, this information is for the South African market only. So I would like to hand over to Francisca Chidzimba. Francisca, just to confirm that you are on the call tonight, would you like to take us through what we have in store with regards to the endocrine system?
Yes. How are you, Gavin? So,
well,
and how are you, everyone? So, just as an introduction, today, like Gavin said, it is a very, very interesting topic. I know we've touched on it in the past before, so we'll elaborate, we'll tap on some of the things we've spoken about, and we'll also add on a few other new information that we can have to add onto this. So basically, I'll start off by, since this month is Women's Month, like Gavin said, we're going to speak about hormonal oils. And to start us off, I just want to introduce the endocrine system just in summary. So the endocrine system is a collection of glands that produce hormones. So we use the word hormones loosely in our everyday life, but these are chemical messengers that are produced in the body, and they're passed directly into the bloodstream. And these have like different or variety of functions, or they stimulate different functions in the body. So they can stimulate metabolism, growth, or sexual development, right? So the endocrine system, in summary, consists of the following glands. As you can see, I put a picture of the endocrine system, both for male and female, both for males and females. So we've got the hypothalamus, we've got the pituitary gland, we've got the pineal gland, we've got the thyroid gland, adrenal gland, thymus, the testes in male, and then for females, we've got the ovaries, right? So the hormones produced by these glands, they travel to various organs or tissues in the body, and they communicate with them. So like I said, they are produced by hormones are produced by certain glands, and then they are passed onto the bloodstream. They are transported to certain glands or tissues or organs where they're supposed to work. So when they reach that particular organ or tissue, they bind to specific proteins, which we call receptors, on the surface of the cells wherever they're supposed to work. So these proteins are called receptors, and when they bind to these receptors, it causes a response in that particular organ or tissue. So you can see how complex the endocrine system is. You can see how many organs are involved in the whole endocrine system. So sometimes in an ideal world, they're all supposed to work very well with each other, correct levels, correct organ producing the correct amount of hormone. But sometimes, like we know, things can go wrong in the amount of the hormones that are produced. So, and this can actually cause various illnesses or disease, especially affecting most parts of the endocrine system and the rest of the body. So moving on. So since we said you can see how extensive the endocrine system is, I'm going to narrow it down since it's Women's Month, and then I'm just going to talk specifically about the female hormones and other parts of the body that are affected by female hormones, and other hormones that actually affect the whole body in relation to females, right? So I'll start off with progesterone. Generally, there are two main female sex hormones, which are estrogen and progesterone, right? Although testosterone is also considered a male hormone, it's also produced like in small amounts in some parts of the female body. So what is progesterone? We hear a lot about it. We speak a lot about progesterone as well. So progesterone is a hormone that is produced mainly by the ovaries. So we know that progesterone is mostly widely known for its effects in the uterus. So most of us know that progesterone is that hormone that is produced in creating the lining of the uterus, so that we can, whenever there's fertilization, the fertilized egg or the ovum can be able to attach, and then we say pregnancy can take place. So basically, most people know progesterone is that hormone that facilitates the attachment of the egg so that a pregnancy can actually happen. When one of the other progesterone functions is to support the balance of your body's estrogen. So if levels are too low, estrogen dominance can occur. So allowing this hormone to build up in your body can cause serious health issues. So having a healthy balance between progesterone and estrogen is actually quite very important, because estrogen dominance actually causes some diseases that you wouldn't want. So to recap, the role of progesterone is to prepare the lining of the uterus for a fertilized egg, to support pregnancy, like I said, to suppress estrogen production after ovulation. And there's a fun fact that I found as I was going through progesterone. Progesterone actually is found in every cell in the body. And it actually, receptors for progesterone can be found in every cell you can think of in the body, not just the uterus. So that means that progesterone affects the entire body. Progesterone affects the amount of fluid that you retain, helps you keep bones strong, helps you keep the skin from wrinkling, etc. If you think about the whole body, you know that every cell and every part of the body contains progesterone. And then another fun fact is that one of the overlooked functions of progesterone is that it promotes healthy nerve cell growth and creates a calming effect, relieving stress and promoting brain health, which improves the focusing and the memory levels of some people. So that is one thing about progesterone that people always undermine. You know, if you've got high stress levels, progesterone actually works over time to actually minimize the stress levels by being a stress reliever. And then the next hormone we're going to talk about is, or that I need to summarize so that you understand better the presentation, is estrogen. So estrogen is a major female hormone. The lion's share comes from the ovaries, but small amounts are produced as well in the adrenal glands and the fat cells. So during pregnancy, the placenta also makes some of the estrogen that are found in the body. And then estrogen also plays a big role in the production, in the reproductive and the sexual development, including puberty, menstruation, pregnancy, and menopause. So in addition to regulating the menstrual cycle, estrogen also affects the reproductive tract, the urinary tract, the heart, and the blood vessels, and many organs, including the muscles or the musculoskeletal system and the cardiovascular system and the brain also are affected by the estrogen. So basically, you can safely say most of our bodies, the most dominant hormones are estrogen and progesterone. So yeah, that is like a short summary of just the most important hormones that we're going to speak about today. In summary, I hope it's summary enough.
Oh, that's 100% perfect. Thanks for educating us, Francisca, on the difference between progesterone and estrogen, especially now linking to Women's Month. So before we move on to the next part of our presentation, I'd like to just introduce who our next key speaker is, who will be joining with us on the call tonight. So on the next slide, as we can see, Hester Strydom, who was on our launch call for this month. So for those of you that didn't know, Hester Strydom was introduced to Young Living by her sister Copeland Quartz, and they look very similar. So I don't know if they're twins or not. And this was about 3 years ago. And since then, she's intentionally made choices each day to live a healthier life. And she's making changes in a lot of people's lives by helping them to do the same. So she believes that you first sell yourself and then the product is going to follow. So remember that you are the example. And she comes from Hoopstad, which is in the Free State, which is also about an hour away from Bloemfontein. And she really, really loves Young Living Essential Oil. So I must definitely hand it through to her. So Francisca, do you care to tell us about Clary Sage? And then I'm pretty sure Hester will be excited to add on to this as well.
Oh, definitely. So Clary Sage, to be honest, it was really fascinating to actually dive in deep and just do a little research on Clary Sage. So Clary Sage, in short, has a rich history dating back centuries. It is believed to be native to the Mediterranean region, where it is mostly cultivated. But then tying it up to our hormonal support, Clary Sage is renowned for its ability to support hormonal balance, particularly in women. So it is a very, when I look at Clary Sage, I saw that it is very versatile in that it regulates hormones like the cortisol, the estrogen, as well as lowering inflammation. And it also contains natural phytoestrogen. So phytoestrogens are basically loosely referred to as dietary estrogen. So when we say dietary estrogen, we mean that estrogen that is found in the food we eat, mostly eggs, dairy. And someone might be asking, like, what do you mean it comes from dairy or eggs, right? So diving deep, some of these animals or birds are actually injected with estrogen so that they produce more milk or more eggs. So it's usually done in industry, like in the milk industry, in the dairy industry, or in the chicken industry, where they want to do mass production of eggs and milk, and then they inject the animals with estrogen. So that in turn increases the amount of estrogen that is produced by the eggs or the milk that is found in those parts. So that causes like us to actually have, as much as we produce estrogen in our bodies, some of this estrogen, we take it also by ingesting it. And that can also actually cause like an increase or take out of whack the balance of estrogen in our systems, right? So the natural phytoestrogens give the ability to cause estrogenic effects, right? They regulate estrogen levels and support the health of the uterus. And they do this by stimulating the pituitary gland, which regulates the ovaries and the sex hormone functions. So some of these female health conditions that are caused by excess estrogens in the body are, like I said, are caused by the high estrogen foods like eggs and dairy. So Clary Sage also helps to balance out these estrogen levels that we take through ingestion, right? It can also regulate the menstrual cycle by enhancing or balancing or enhancing the hormonal levels naturally, and it stimulates as well the opening of the obstructed systems, right? So the health benefits also that you can get from Clary Sage is that it lowers stress. So as like I said, it affects the cortisol as much as it affects estrogen. It also affects the amount of cortisol that we find in the body. So the estrogen levels can aid in causing irregular periods. They cause weight gain, and it contributes to the feeling of high stress. So in 2014, there actually was a study that was done, which like they used the inhalation of Clary Sage, and to see if it had the ability to reduce any cortisol. So they found out that there's 36% of improvement of the thyroid gland, which in turn improved the mood, which in turn reduced the amount of cortisol that is found in the body. And also another added benefit of Clary Sage is that it helps in insomnia. So some people become insomniac or have the poor sleeping qualities because of hormonal imbalances. So Clary Sage has a naturally calming and sedative effect that helps you improve the insomniac state that you sometimes can find yourself in, especially when you are stressed or you've got hormonal imbalance. So by lowering the cortisol levels, it induces a sense of relaxation. And then Clary Sage also helps with improving the sleep quality. How about that?
That's really something to add on to this, Francisca. Definitely. Esther, I'm sure that you would like to talk on this as well.
Yes, Gavin, let me tell you, this is a tough job, the hormone call, because Francisca is so educated on what she does that it is just like she has said everything. But
no.
I am going to add on to this. Francisca, I promise you, it's like I'm writing an exam. You should see all my notes. Yeah? Because there's so much info to take in about hormones, and it's such a difficult thing to explain to people. But yes, I love Clary Sage, and I'm actually stressing now, so I think I'll have to smell it to have a little bit of relaxation.
Like I said, stress levels, it reduces stress levels.
It reduces stress levels, let me tell you. Okay, so Clary Sage is an awesome oil. And it has a calming, soothing, and lightly floral aroma. But with my exam papers, I've also learned that it is a main component in dragon time oil, which we are also going to speak about,
Yes.
which is just awesome. And it's really, like you said, it's supporting normal, healthy emotions during the monthly cycle. And yeah, it's just an awesome oil. And sorry, I'm just going through my notes because I'm just
No problem, Shay.
So, okay, so let me just get to here. Okay, so what I learned about Clary Sage, that like you said, it contains phytoestrogens, and it can sorry, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so it can support labor. And because of this, some women choose to avoid excess use of Clary Sage during pregnancy until labor is desired. So that was interesting to me. And then,
do you know why you are actually told not to use Clary Sage during pregnancy? It is because it can cause contractions if you are pregnant.
yes,
So it's actually very good when you now want the contractions during labor.
yes, it's awesome for that. And it's a citrus oil. So with all citrus oils, you have to avoid direct sunlight or UV rays for up to 12 hours after applying it. So that's interesting to know that. And then it's a great oil to use in conjunction with progestins to support female hormones as well. So the best place, or the place where I put Clary Sage, is on my stomach area, because that's where it works best for me. You can also put it on thin layers of your skin, like your forearms as well. And then the inside of your ankles, and you can, like I said, rub it on your abdomen. Yeah, to support contractions during labor. So yes, Clary Sage is just an awesome oil for that. Yeah, and everything else you said, but it's mostly important to know that it's supporting healthy hormone levels, which is great.
And I love the fact that it's so versatile, and it can be used for so many things, and it targets whatever problem you have. So as much as you won't be in labor and you've got high stress, it just knows where to go. As much as maybe you are just taking it just to relax, or you were taking it for sleep, it makes you sleepy. So that's what I love. And the scent, like you said, it smells amazing. So it's a win-win.
Yeah. And another interesting about Clary Sage, I actually did not use it during my pregnancy or when I had contractions, but I actually used it once for whooping cough. And it actually works great for that as well.
Right. Like we said again, it works on a lot of parts of the body. And so it just goes there. I didn't know that. So you see, you're not doing too bad in this exam.
I have a pass there.
So the next one, like you said, that we are going to speak about is dragon time. So like you mentioned, Clary Sage is a dragon time, actually is a proprietary blend that contains Clary Sage, fennel, marjoram, lavender, and blue yellow, right? So it helps support your hormones so they balance, especially during the times of hormonal stress. So this whole blend, like I'll just nitpick on just a few things, because I feel like the whole effect of the blend comes from the individual effects of the oils that are found in it. So with Clary Sage, we've already spoken in depth about the Clary Sage, so we don't need to speak too much on it. But then the one that fascinated me the most, that I'm going to lean on mostly, is the fennel. So fennel has been shown to have such a great effect, especially in the body, because it's got strong estrogenic properties, meaning that it is similar to the hormone estrogen. So like Clary Sage, it's got estrogenic effects, and hence, let's say you've got an imbalance in estrogen, it's able to balance that out. The fennel has been shown to also have galactogenic properties, meaning it helps to increase milk production. So it does this by increasing the blood levels of prolactin, which is a hormone that is significantly produced when you need to produce some milk. So, and then like Clary Sage in Dragon Time has, like I said, estrogenic properties, which also tie in well with the fennel. And overall, it is just a synergistic blend that some people actually use it as well, like in looking at the combination of the oils in it, the Clary Sage, the fennel, and the lavender. Mostly they use it traditionally for most of the PMS symptoms. It balances emotions and it just alleviates mood swings. So that's the parts that really intrigued me about Dragon Time as a whole. Yeah. And I don't know what you have for me. Enlighten me, because I'm learning from you as well, Hester.
So the best place for me to put Dragon Time is on my wrist and on my VitaFlex points on my feet. So I actually have a VitaFlex point chart here, if you can see it.
Yes, I can.
Okay, and then you look at where your organs are, and then you put it on your VitaFlex points, and that helps a lot. It also helps with cramping during your monthly cycle, which is awesome. And then what's interesting to me is because of Dragon Time and other oils that's in there, it's quite feel good oils, and it releases dopamine in the brain, which is just awesome. So we can actually, really use this oil as a feel good oil as well, not only just as a hormonal oil.
Exactly. And like you're saying, like with the dopamine, for me, where it hit me the most now that you mention it, when they were saying it can be used in postpartum baby blues, you know, when you've got the baby blues, and so the dopamine, the feel good hormone is activated. You see, I like our team.
Yes, no, it's an awesome oil, and you can also use it on your abdomen. And on your VitaFlex point. So Dragon Time is really, it's an awesome oil. And I know there's calls about Tame Your Dragon, and Dragon Time is one of those oils that's in there. And it's just a great oil to use.
Definitely. And you know what I like about how you are presenting this product? I'm all sciencey. I'm all, hey, let's talk about the brain. Let's talk about this. And I sometimes overlook like the simple ways of using them. And you're just blowing my mind right now by telling me, okay, fine, we know what it does. So where does it work? And how do I apply it to my day-to-day life? So that's cool for me.
Oh, so, thank you.
Our next one is Endoflex. So Endoflex as well, it helps maintain an overall vitality through a combination of essential oils that supports the glandular, the circulatory, and the respiratory, nervous, reproductive, and other body systems. So basically, we can say it supports the whole endocrine system, right? So it has an uplifting effect on the body and was designed to benefit the endocrine system, like I said. It balances the system as it gives support to the pituitary, the pineal gland, the parathyroid gland, the thymus, and the adrenal glands, right? Narrowing it down, I want to speak about two parts of all these glands that I spoke about that I really think it actually has a huge effect on. So these two glands are the thyroid gland and the adrenal gland, because the thyroid and the adrenal gland are really closely tied to the positive influence of the female hormone support. So the adrenal glands in females, it produces the sex hormones such as estrogen, it produces the progesterone, it produces steroids, cortisol, and the chemicals like adrenaline, right? So in a nutshell, the adrenal glands regulate metabolism, the immune system, the response to stress, and also other essential functions. So now we're saying that Endoflex, if it affects the adrenal glands, it means that it also affects all these hormones that are produced by the adrenal glands, and in fact affect those processes that are actually that are triggered by these hormones. So the thyroid gland, just to summarize, produces the thyroid hormone, which are vital for the support or the proper function of the female reproductive system. So a deficiency in the thyroid hormones can affect the levels of the female hormones and can cause like menstrual abnormalities and sub-infertility. That's why sometimes, let's say you've stayed 3 months, you're not pregnant, but then you have missed your period for 3 months. The doctor usually goes like, can you go have your thyroid checked? Because the thyroid is highly tied as well to the female hormones. So there's a fun fact again that I saw today. The thyroid gland and the estrogen specifically have a symbiotic relationship in that estrogen also stimulates the growth of the thyroid gland. So as much as the thyroid gland is helps in the production or the function of the female hormones like estrogen also has an effect on the thyroid. So estrogen regulates the protein that binds to the thyroid hormone as well in the bloodstream. And also estrogen also stimulates the hormone or the thyroid hormone that is used, which is the thyroxine. So after I've explained the whole the thyroid and the adrenal gland, now we're going to look at what Endoflex actually does on these glands. So through supporting the endocrine system, the Endoflex balances hormones that fall out of whack, because, like I said, it works on a lot of parts of the system that actually work in the endocrine system. And it is very useful in balancing out all the hormones. It's not only limited to the female hormones. So I'm not sure if we have lost Hester, but when she joins, she can just give us also her 2 cents on the Endoflex essential oil. So moving on.
Online, so I believe that she's ready.
Yes. So no, she's shedding.
Francisca?
Yes. Oh, you're here. Okay. I thought I'd lost you.
Okay. So Endoflex is just awesome. Endoflex is one of my main oils. I love it. Can you hear me, Francisca?
Yes, I can, definitely.
Okay. So yes, when I have an interesting story about this. When I was 27 years old, I was diagnosed with thyroid cancer. And they had to remove my thyroid. So I actually don't have a thyroid. And I have to use alternative medicine for that. And I wish I got radiation for it. And I'm in remission now for loads of years. And they actually told me when they removed my thyroid that I wouldn't be able to have kids. And today I have 3 kids, which is just awesome. But if I knew about Endoflex and the way it could have supported my immune system, it would just have been great. So I just want to explain that the thyroid is a small butterfly-shaped gland in the front of your neck. And when the brain doesn't do its job and the thyroid doesn't do its job, you get a immune system disease, which is called Hashimoto. And when they removed my thyroid, they told me that I also do have Hashimoto. So Hashimoto disease is an autoimmune disorder. The immune system creates antibodies that attack thyroid cells as if they were bacteria, viruses, or some other foreign body. The immune system wrongly enlists disease-fighting agents that damage cells and lead to cell death. So if I knew about Endoflex then,
imagine.
Much easier. Yes. So
and
Endoflex for me is just awesome because it can support me because I don't have a thyroid gland anymore. So it's one of the greatest oils. Like every person must use it. And what I actually, with all my exams that I did, is what I found out is that this blend is often very beneficial for teens and kids who are developing hormonally, because today environments and habits put early strain on their health. And it's also safe for men to use. It's an awesome thing for men to use as well.
Yes, because it not only just works on the gonads, it works on the whole endocrine system. You see, and it's such an incredible story that you just shared. And you know, these are some of the things that we underestimate the power of essential oils until you hear someone like you who speaks about these real conditions that I'm in the health sector are aware of. So us in the health sector, we just are quick to say, no, operate or remove, or because we don't look deeper into other alternative treatments. You see, like the Endoflex, they had the medical people had certified no kids. Look at you, 3 kids, because the body is also able to balance itself out, and with the help of Endoflex as well, it goes and fits in on part of the body which maybe the body is not able to balance itself out on.
Yes. No, it's just Endoflex is a must for every woman and man. But because it's Women Month, only women can use it this month, okay?
But we're promoting it for everyone, even the teenagers and such.
Yes, yeah. And you don't have to, you actually don't have to dilute Endoflex. It has a sesame seed oil, has carrier oil in it. And which is rich in vitamin E and nourishing to the skin and the body. So yes, it's awesome to know that as well.
Yes, and I see that you've already answered Nadine's question on how to use the Endoflex. So you've already answered it, yes.
Yeah, so I actually use Endoflex. I drink it. I take 2 drops in lukewarm water every morning and every night. Okay,
every day of every day. Proper. Okay, got it. So
yes.
Nadine, there's your answer. And I don't know if you've got anything else that you want to add on Endoflex, because it seems like you're a wealth on Endoflex because you use this personally, you know?
Yes.
So now, moving on to our next product, which is progessence. So progessence was thoughtfully designed specifically for women. Even the name, it's in the name. It contains USP grade supermicronized progesterone from wild yam, and it is blended with essential oils, 7 to be precise. And when I was going through these, all these 7 essential oils are chosen specifically for assisting in the application of the progessence. You know how progessence, 2 of its great ways, 2 things that make it very, very awesome is the application. You just have to, you don't have to keep on changing the parts of where you apply it. You can apply it anyway. This is because some of these oils that are found in it help it in its absorption. It's got vitamin E, which helps it not become rancid or mixed. And you've got coconut oil, which is a carrier oil. So it also gives a feeling of relaxation and harmony and balance. But then progessence as well, which some people actually call the P3, it naturally encourages the body's optimal hormone balance, because the balance between estrogen and progesterone is very critical for the functioning of the female body. So like I mentioned in the summary or in the intro part, I was like, a progesterone is, one of progesterone's role is to balance out estrogen or estrogen dominance. So now it works in balancing the effects of estrogen dominance, and hence it improves the progesterone levels. Because if you've got estrogen dominance, you get some diseases, some conditions, some people even have attested to having infertility because of estrogen dominance. And so as well, as women age, progesterone levels, they also drop. And staying balanced hormonically is very important, because it reduces the challenges, like, for example, menopause causes, because as you grow older as well, the rate or the amount of a hormonal or the female hormones produced in the body is reduced. So that's why progessence is such an important hormone for a lot of women to use, because it is specifically done as a target for it to actually work on balancing the hormonal imbalances that might be happening. Sometimes you are unaware of the hormonal imbalance that's happening even in your body, and you just see yourself having cramps, you see yourself having serious PMS, serious headaches, endometriosis, and that is the reason, or that is the cause of having hormonal imbalance. So that's why progestin is actually used for PMS, cramps, and headaches, and endometriosis, and hot flashes, fibroids, and it may help with some of these conditions. You know how some of these, most of our oils, they are all dependent on your body function, on how you use it, the rate of usage. So it can help with all of these situations or these conditions.
Yes, Francisca, I actually love progestins. I put a roller fitment on it, a Aromaglide fitment on it, and I put it on my forearms and on my inner thighs. Now, this is really not an oil for men. This is exclusively for women. Men don't use this oil, please. They have enough. Okay, but what is so interesting to me about progestins is progesterone is a naturally hormone that we have in our body, but it begins declining in your late 20s and decreases significantly after age 30. And then it is nearly non-existent by menopause. So actually, progestins is awesome for this. And then the other thing is that I actually read that it cools down your arteries, which is great when you have cholesterol. Yes. It is actually great in helping cholesterol as well. Yeah, so that, and it supports pregnancy and everything. And what is interesting is when we get pregnant, our progesterone levels are much higher. So it actually, I think I read that it is 40 times higher. So, and that's to keep the pregnancy intact, which is awesome. And then the other interesting thing about progesterone is progesterone inhibit binding of oxytocin to its receptor. So oxytocin is a natural hormone that manages key aspects of the female and male reproductive systems, including labor and delivery for lactation and breastfeeding as well. So when you are breastfeeding, oxytocin gets released into the body, and it makes that you can actually breastfeed. It makes your milk come through. And what is interesting about this is when you are pregnant, the progesterone, your hypothalamus makes oxytocin, but your posterior pituitary gland stores and releases it into your bloodstream. So enough progesterone keeps oxytocin at bay till you are ready for labor. So it keeps the oxytocin at bay, and that's so important to have enough progesterone to do that function, which is awesome.
And you know, it's so fascinating. That's why I'm like, female bodies are the most fascinating. Ideally, everything has a time, and it is programmed to work in a certain time without a hiccup. Like you're saying, oxytocin should not be produced before labor happens. And for most times, it happens exactly like that. And another thing about progesterone levels, they drop as we grow older. So staying hormonally balanced becomes very important, because I never used to understand when my mom would say, I'm insomniac or I can't fall asleep. Why? Because as we grow older, progesterone levels drop, and they need now to have external balance, like the progestins, where you apply progestins and it balances the amount of progesterone that you have in the system.
Yes. Now it's just awesome what all these oils can do for you, and all of these oils that are in progestins contains limonene, linalool, menthol, eugenol. It's just awesome when you go and really do your research on this. Progestins is just a very great oil.
It's a very, very great oil. And for me, what blew my mind as well is like the 7 oils that it contains, inclusive, namely frankincense, bergamot, and peppermint, just to name a few. When I was reading why, because you know how with most progesterone-based topical applications like creams, they tell you to alternate the spots. Why is it, I had to find out why is it that they say progesterone you can apply anyway? So the oils that are there help in the circulation or the blood circulation on the surface of application. So it makes the progestins or the progesterone to be absorbed quickly from the surface, and hence it causes no problems, even if you apply it on the same spot all the time.
Yes. And it's really a great oil to support PCOS as well.
Yes,
So,
yes,
if you have
yes.
PCOS, it's a great oil to use. It's a great oil to use when you want to get pregnant. It's just, I just love this oil.
Because one thing I had to like get knee deep and try figure out, a person, you go to the doctor and then they tell you that you cannot fall pregnant. These are people's testimonies that they would say, I went to the doctor, they say everything is fine, but I still can't fall pregnant, because sometimes estrogen dominance is not checked. So someone can be fully functional, ovulating, the uterus is fine, the lining is being formed correctly every month, but the estrogen dominance is not being checked. The minute someone uses progestins, it balances out the estrogen, and that estrogen dominance is balanced out, and someone falls pregnant. It is amazing. The science behind progestins is just amazing.
Yeah, and there's actually a book written about Progestins Plus by Dr. Dan Purser. And I would actually share this, and it's frequently asked questions about progestins. Questions like, can men use it? Can children use it? Can women use it? Can I use it while I'm pregnant? And it gives you all these answers. It's just a great book to read.
It's an amazing book, because I listened to one of the talks that he gave. He serenades you when he speaks about progestins, because it shows you how much research has been put into making progestins into such a wonder serum. You know, it is an amazing, and people always make the mistake of thinking it's an oil. No, it's a serum, because it contains a combination of like the micronized progestins, the oils, the vitamin E, and the coconut oil. So that's why it's called a serum instead of an oil.
Yeah, no, it's an all-rounder. It's just an awesome oil to use. High blood pressure, insomnia, hot flashes, low libido. It helps for all of this.
It's an amazing serum. It's an amazing product, honestly. And I'm saying that Ali is saying there's so many P+ babies. Definitely, I agree with you. I can name some. Ask me in private, I'll tell you. Yeah. So yeah, Gavin, over to you.
Thank you so much for that, ladies. Well, I'm actually excited because you can use Endoflex for guys too. So yeah, know that.
Not this month, Gavin. You can use it next month.
Okay, definitely looking at that. So we know that Dragon Time, Clary Sage, Endoflex, and Progestins, it is the month for women. So for the men on the call tonight, this is definitely something that you can add. For your ladies, you know that you can pamper yourself and take care of yourself. So these are some good testimonies, some good research behind it for those that are actually wanting to use the progestin serum, as well as Dragon Time and Endoflex, which is one of our blends, or 2 of them for the month, and then Clary Sage as well. So I understand it's great for anxiety, for insomnia, but also just with balancing those hormones as well. So thank you so much for that, Francisca, because I've learned, I've been stuck on the screen as well. And Hester as well, thank you so much for sharing your testimony and how you use it, because you've touched a lot of people through this call. And I can see in the chat already how many people are influenced by the usage of Endoflex as well as progestins, and how they use it as well. So that's also very exciting for brand partners to show that we are engaged with them and how we use it. So thank you so much for that. So I'd like to hand over to Brian on the call tonight, and Brian would like to take us through our promotions for the month, which Francisca and Hester has spoken lovely about, rather that. So Brian, would you care to take it away?
Thank you very much, Gavin. And thank you, Francisca and Hester. What amazing information I'm going to send to my tannies and my sisters and everybody. Thank you, guys. Fantastic. That was amazing information. So welcome, everybody. Thank you very much for the opportunity. We do have these oils discounted at 10% off if you buy them individually. So that's Dragon Time less 10% at 661 Rand at a good PV of 45.75. All right. We also have Clary Sage, which is less 10% for 247 Rand at 17 PV. And then we have the Endoflex, also less 10%, going at 374 Rand at 25.75 PV. And we also have the Progestins Phyto Plus 15 ml serum, which is less 10% for 480 Rand, and that is at 33.75 PV. What we have done is we have created a bundle for these 4 oils, or the 3 oils and the 1 serum, and that is going at 1,377 Rand, and that is at 95 PV. Like I said in the previous call, it's only 5% less than 100, which I think is amazing. We are also recommending the roller bottle set, which is 6 of them. You'll get them at the wholesale price of 105 Rand and a retail price of 140. Ladies and gentlemen, this offer is running still for the whole month from the 1st to the 31st, and it is available on all selling platforms, namely Essential Rewards, Quick Order, and new enrollments.
Thank you so much for that, Brian. Do you care to take us through the PV promo for the month as well?
Of course I would. That's a very nice slide. Thank you very much, Gavin. Okay, guys, so you will get 20 points if you spend 100 PV on Essential Rewards. And then we got the Thieves Sanitizer, which can be used anytime. It's a very handy product to have, and that you will get members when they reach 120 PV on Essential Rewards and 120 PV on Quick Order as well. And then we have YL Haven, which will be given to the members when they reach 150 PV on Essential Rewards and also 150 PV on Quick Order. And then we move on to Patchouli, which we will be giving members to when they reach 200 PV on Essential Rewards and 250 PV on Quick Order. We got German Chamomile, the 5 ml bottle, which will be given to members at 250 PV and when they reach 350 PV on Quick Order. We will also be giving members the Sacred Frankincense, which they will get when they spend 300 PV on Essential Rewards. Ladies and gentlemen, there is also free shipping for all Essential Rewards orders over 300 PV, and this is still running, like I said, the previous bundle from the 1st to the 31st of August. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for that, Brian. And then we move over to the exciting promotions for the month. So do you care to tell us what we have in store?
Yes. So we have the amazing exfoliation bundle. As you can see, there's a nice Young Living bath mitt. There's the grapefruit 5 ml and the geranium bourbon, which we will be selling at a nice price of 430 Rand. And that is going at 27.75 PV. So you're basically buying the grapefruit and the geranium bourbon with the bath mitt for free, right? So you're saving 17% on that, and that is available for the entire month on Essential Rewards, Quick Order, and new enrollments.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much for that, Brian. Just another one for our brand partners that missed the launch call that we had on Monday, which was on the 31st, I believe, if I can remember the date correctly.
Yes, yes.
And what we've done is we've created a really nice DIY recipe that a lot of our brand partners has asked for on the call. So what I've done is on the next slide, if anybody would love to take a screenshot of this, which they would love to create. So this is a poppy seed cellulite body scrub, and it's really good because it actually has sugar in it. So it's very exfoliating. It leaves your skin feeling very soft and smooth after you use it. So for those brand partners that are excited to do this at home, here's a great DIY for you to go through. And Brian, I understand that we have new launches as well for the month. Do you care to tell us what we have in store for our brand partners?
Yes, this is my most exciting launch in a very long time. Thank you, which we'll be getting to in a second. There we go. Okay, so it is the Bloom. Apologies for that. The Bloom Collagen, which we will be selling at the 2-pack. So it's the 10 bottles times 2, and it's 50 ml each bottle. That is going at a member price of 1,250 Rand, and the PV for that is 56.75, and it has been available, and it is available on Essential Rewards, quick order, and new enrollments. Then it's the 3-pack, thank you very much, which is at 1,799 Rand at the wholesale price. The retail price is 2,367 Rand, and that PV has increased to 81.75, also still available, and it is available on Essential Rewards, quick order, and new enrollments.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much for this. While we have Hester on the call, so I understand, Hester, you would recommend usage for this. Do you care to tell us exactly how to use Bloom Collagen, if that's okay with you?
Yes, okay. So I just love Bloom Collagen. When Young Living in South Africa doesn't have it in stock, I'm immigrating to another country where I can get it. So it's just an awesome product. You don't have any fishy taste. It is a citrus taste. It is non-toxic. It's just awesome. So for improvement, you take 1 bottle a day for 30 days. And after that, for maintenance, you drink 1 bottle on alternative days or 3 or 4 bottles a week. And it's applicable to age 25 and above. So that's where you use it. And what I love about this product, it is marine collagen. It is a type 1 collagen, which supports skin structure. It has a small molecular size for better absorption and assimilation. It's an antioxidant, which contains coenzyme Q10, which is an antioxidant, beetroot powder, jasmine tea extract, wolfberry extract. It contains oils, lemon, peppermint, and lime, nutrients, vitamin C, zinc, copper, B2, B6, and vitamin E. It is just awesome to use. This is a must-have product.
Wow, thank you so much for that, Hester. So we do recommend usage as Hester has recommended this. So when you do start, as Hester has said, you can take 1 per day. And then after a month of using this product, you can then cut down your usage from 1 per day to between 3 to 4 within a week. So then you can see visible results as well. As you can see from us as Young Living staff, we are still maintaining our beauty as well as our Young Living brand partners as well. So thank you so much for that, Hester. But before we move on to the next part of this, I'm sure everybody's been excited for the next product, which is the rose ointment. So Brian, do you care to tell us about the price? And Hester, do you care to tell us how we would definitely recommend using this?
Fantastic.
Yes, okay, so the rose ointment is 24.5 grams, and it really goes a long way. It contains patchouli, myrrh, bergamot, tea tree, ylang-ylang, rose, and geranium, which is just awesome. It seals moisture into the skin to deeply hydrate, soothe, and soften while supporting healthy skin. It's for everyday use, and it's actually awesome for sensitive skin as well. 100% natural, and it's for your lips, your cuticles, your elbows, knees, and actually your mouth corners in winter when they are dry. So you can actually use this everywhere. It is just great.
Wow, thank you so much for that, Hester. Also, another one for the ladies out there that are breastfeeding. This is great for nipples as well. So I've heard. So definitely. Brian, do you care to tell us what the price? Do you care to tell us what the pricing is for rose ointment?
Of course, thank you very much, Hester, for that information. So the member price for this 24.5 gram rose ointment from Young Living is 475 Rand. The retail price, ladies and gents, is 625 Rand, and that PV is 27. So yes, it is available for the entire month, and it's also available on Essential Rewards, quick order, and new enrollments.
Thank you so much for that, Hester and Brian. Lovely bunch of people, aren't you? Definitely. Okay, so as we move on towards the events for the year, just a reminder for those people, please, if you want, you can take a screenshot of this. Young Living is excited to announce that we are hosting something called the Wellness Expo, as we have spoken about in the launch call. So we've been working tirelessly in the background to ensure that we're bringing you the best of the best when it comes to Young Living. So this is one of the great events that we actually planning on hosting. So on the 16th of September, we'll be in Bloemfontein. On the 21st of October, we'll be in Cape Town. And then on the 28th of October, we bring it back to the headquarters, which is in Johannesburg. So definitely save the date for this. Perfect. And then we move on to our training dates for the month. So thank you so much for that, Hester, again, and Francisca. On the 17th of August, which is next week, Thursday, we will be reintroducing Let's Be Frank. So this is where we will get testimonies from our brand partners, and one of them being Estelle Pretorius, who will be talking through Bloom Collagen and how to use Bloom Collagen as well. And then on the 24th of August, we will have a business call, which is called Grow Your Business, and we'll be talking about circles of influence. So this is really exciting, and I cannot wait to touch base on those brand partners that are looking to grow their businesses. Remember, these sessions are also open to all SA members, and it's available in English only. Okay, and thank you again so much to Francisca, Esther, and Brian for joining us on the call tonight. Thank you for taking the time out to educate our brand partners, to teach them the holistic approach and natural wellness that essential oils does for everybody. So before I end it off, I'd like to give it over to one of the quotes by Eleanor Roosevelt, which said, "A strong woman is like a tea bag. You can't tell how strong she is until you put her in hot water." So that's a really lovely quote to take home with you tonight. Again, thank you so much for everyone that joined the call. And that'll be it from us. Thank you again. Until next week. Good night.
Bye.